Once you've downloaded the zip file for this week's assignment, go ahead and move it to your external drive. Then extract it. Now let's launch up Premiere. Let's start a new project. Let's call this Your Last Name, Module 12. Now let's import the footage. Let's look at what we have. Let's open this up a little bit so we can see what we're looking at. All right, we have an open for the show. We have Sarah's audio and her video here, some music, and a couple of things that are going to go in as overlays. Let's go ahead and create a sequence. Let's drag Sarah's video into the blank timeline just to create a sequence. We'll go ahead and delete that because we're going to do something different with that. Let's rename our sequence. The first thing we're going to drop in is our music, and this is Sarah's theme music here. All music is going to come in loud, so let's bring these levels down a little bit. We'll hit G on our keyboard for gain, and let's bring this down -12 dB. That's a little more listenable here. And we only want just the last few seconds of it because this is an internet series, so we don't have much time for a big long open. I usually start right about there. About 52 seconds in. So let's put an end point in there. And just as it drops off there, that's when Sarah's going to come on. So let's go ahead and drop that in. We'll put it on channel 2. We'll use an override edit. All right, there's our music. Let's put our show open in there. Let's start it right when we start seeing the China Rising logo starting to appear. There. And we're just doing video here. So let's set that right about there. And again, we'll do an overwrite edit. Here we go. Now, just where that sound changes there, that's where Sarah's going to come in. So we've got Sarah's video, and we've got her audio here. So let's merge these clips. But first, let's take a look at it. There's Sarah. And we need to find what she sounds like here when she's talking.
I'm Sarah Xu. China is in the process of setting up a sovereign digital currency.
These levels are okay for syncing, but just to be on the safe side, let me hit the gain button and let's bring her up maybe 6 dB. There we go. And we can see if we undo that. Yeah, let's bring it up 12 dB actually. So let's hit the gain button, 12 dB. And bring it up just a little bit just to make sure that the software can hear it. But we're not going to be listening to this audio. We've got some clean audio here. Sarah's audio there. That looks a little low actually. So let's play it and see what it looks like on the VU meters.
Welcome to China Rising. I'm Sarah Xu. China is in the process of setting up a sovereign digital
Not bad.
currency.
We want to bring it up to where her peaks are almost at -6. So we need to bring it up maybe 4 dB. So let's go here, hit gain again, add 4 dB. That expands it a little bit. Okay, so now we've got her video and her audio. We'll select both of them by holding down the Command key. Right click or Option or Alt click on your keyboard, and let's merge those clips. All right, there she is. Now let's listen.
Welcome to China Rising. I'm Sarah Xu.
All right, well, that's better. So let's find out where she says welcome. And just as she says welcome, we'll put our endpoint in. Okay, so let's mark an out point where the video ends. All right, so now let's put Sarah on channel 1. And right as that music starts fading out, that's where we want it to come in. So let's do an overwrite edit and lay her in there. Okay. Now,
Welcome to China Rising. I'm Sarah Xu.
okay. So let's bring that music down a little bit before she comes in. Open that up a little bit. Let's go to where we're going to add a point right there. Open that up where we can see. There we go. Add a keyframe there. Come back just a little bit more. Add another keyframe. And let's bring this down. And obviously it fades out on its own there, so you don't have to do too much there.
Welcome to China Rising. I'm Sarah Xu.
All right, that's what we're going to do with that. Now, let's work on Sarah's green screen. What we're going to do is, using Adobe Dynamic Link, we're going to right-click or Option or Alt-click on her clip, and we're going to say Replace with After Effects Composition. This is going to launch up After Effects in the background. And it's going to ask us to save the After Effects project somewhere. So I'm going to call this Module 12 Green Screen. And I'm going to put it on my external drive where I'm keeping this project here. Actually, I will make an After Effects folder to keep things a little more organized. There. And we'll put it in there. And there she is. Okay. We can zoom in on this a little bit using our scroll wheel, or you can come over here and hit Fit. Okay, the first thing we need to do is do a color correction on this. So what we're going to do is go to the workspace where we do that, color, and we start getting our familiar looking things here, but the only difference is, instead of automatically applying a Lumetri effect, we have to manually apply that effect. So I can go to Effects and Presets and say Lumetri, and there it is, Lumetri Color. I double click on it, and there it is. Now, starting to get the things that we're used to seeing in color correction. And we know we need to turn this clamp signal thing off and change this to float. And let's change this. The first thing we have to do, we got to change it to a Luma waveform. And now we work with fixing our contrast. So we've got a bright point there on her forehead. That's kind of pounding the top of that, but that's okay. We're gonna do some stuff that fixes that. And we got the darker areas there, but it's still a little dark overall. I think I'm going to add another control point here and bring up just the overall brightness of this scene. Now we know if we were going to look for a color cast, it would say, well, it's got a lot of green in it. Well, obviously it has a lot of green in it. So that's not the issue here. The issue is we don't have a lot of chroma. So let's go to our hue and saturation here, and we're going to change our scope, bring up our vector scope YUV, and let's get rid of the waveform for now. There it is. And let's just click anywhere. Oh, let's say in the blue area, because there's not a lot of blue in this picture. So I'm going to bring that up. There we go. Now we're getting some color there. All right, now that we've got our color correction taken care of, let's go back to the standard workspace. Now, let's come over to the effects area, and let's look for channel blur. There it is right there. Let's add that. Maybe just a little bit of green blurriness. Let's add 2. Not bad there. Kind of affects the whole picture though. Maybe just 1.5. Not bad. Now let's place her background beneath her. Import the file Blue Studio Background, and let's drag it to the bottom layer here. Now let's come back over to the effects presets and look for key light with spill suppressor. You're going to see 2 of them. One is just basic key light, and one is the one with spill suppression. Make sure Sarah's track is highlighted, and double click on that to add that effect to her layer there. All right, we're getting there. So let's go ahead and choose the color we're going to screen out. Use the eyedropper, and let's get close to her face, maybe over here. If we look at the effects that we've added here, we've added key light, key cleaner, and an advanced spill suppressor. But notice the advanced spill suppressor is turned off for now. That's the last thing we do. So let's start up here. Let's change our view to screen matte. Now you can see there are kind of some dirty areas here that we can clean up. We can do a minor screen pre-blur to fix that. That helps a little bit, but let's open up our screen matte area here. And we've got clip black and clip white. And what we want to do is kind of roll back the clip white until some of these details start disappearing. So let's do that first. There, I got rid of most of those extraneous things. Now let's add some of the clip black to clean up that area there. Very good. Now that's looking a lot cleaner. Let's do a minor clip rollback of maybe 1 pixel. There we go. Now let's switch to the intermediate results and take a look at our edges here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Not bad. Getting there. So let's take a look at our final result. Okay, we've got some edge issues here. And I think what's going on is Key Cleaner added a bunch of additional edge radius that we don't need. So let's bring that back. Maybe way back. How about 0? Yeah, we didn't need that additional edge radius at all, I don't think. There, that's a little cleaner. And the last thing we do is turn on our advanced spill suppressor. And that gets rid of the green that may have spilled onto her from that background that was a little too close to her. So let's turn that on now. All right. That's pretty clean. I like it. But if you notice, we shot a little bit off screen here. We're off the green screen. So we've got a little stuff showing back here. There's a little around the edges here. I believe the microphone may have dipped down in there at some point. One way to get rid of that is let's cut her out of this scene. Let's use the rectangle tool. And if you need to adjust it a little bit, go back to your selection tool and you can grab these areas here. There. All right. Notice we filmed her right in the middle of the screen there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move her over. So we do the basic things with our transform tool here and our position. The first one is left and right. So let's move her to the left. There we go. Not way over, but enough to where we have room for those things that we're going to insert later. Looks like the mat has caused a little bit of problems there. Let's fix that. Under her mask, let's add a little bit of a feather. There. That smoothed out that transition, those hard pixels, and it kind of makes it blend in a little bit better with the background. Now let's go ahead and save our results. Let's go back to Premiere now. All right, let's finish up this project. All right, we want the China Rising Flag logo, and we're going to put it at the beginning of this. Let's go ahead and highlight one, press up on your keyboard, arrow, give it an endpoint, and we're going to go until she says, "I'm Sarah Shu."
Welcome to China Rising. I'm Sarah Shu.
Set an out point there, and we're going to lay this in there. Use overwrite edit. Oh, it's got an out point, so we're going to ignore that source out point. Doesn't matter. There it is. Okay, now it's too big. So let's go over here and to our effect controls, and let's scale that down to 45. And let's move it over and up. There we go. About there is fine. Okay. Now let's add a little bit of a drop shadow so this doesn't look just pasted against the background there. So we're going to go to our Effects tab, going to Video Effects, Perspective, Drop Shadow. Drop that on there. And let's change the distance. Increase the distance a little bit so we can see. There it is. And let's soften that up so it's not so harsh looking, but still there. That gives it a little bit of a 3D depth. All right. So the next thing she says
China is in the process of setting up a sovereign digital currency.
Okay, so we got digital currency. Let's find that clip. Digital currency. And we're going to lay it in for the rest of this sequence here. It might be a little short, so we may have to lay it in twice. All right, we'll just grab that, bring it back here. Now this one's too big too, so let's go to our flag logo again. Look at our effect controls, and let's copy the parameters. You can't copy just position or scale. You have to go to like the main category. Go ahead, hit Command C, go over to digital currency and say Command V. There. That adds that. And let's do that over here as well. Let's get our drop shadow from the flag as well. Command C, Command V. There we go. All right. So that's essentially what we're going to do for this week's assignment.